When people imagine cheap places to live in Europe, their minds instinctively drift toward remote eastern towns or countries that are still climbing their way into the mainstream. But reality is shifting fast, and some of the cheapest high-quality cities today are hiding in places no one assumes are affordable. Take Porto, the stunning Portuguese city sitting quietly on the Atlantic coast, ranked 10th in this countdown. It's a place most travelers imagine as a premium European destination, with postcard-perfect bridges, colorful old neighborhoods, and riverside cafes that feel like they belong on the front cover of a travel magazine. And yet, when you look beneath the surface, Porto reveals a reality most people overlook. It delivers Western European comfort without Western European prices. Food is dramatically cheaper than in cities like Paris or Amsterdam. Public transportation is efficient and surprisingly inexpensive, and rents, while rising, remain modest compared to the rest of Western Europe. But what truly catches people off guard is the quality of life. Mild weather, walkable neighborhoods, a relaxed local pace, and the kind of safety that lets you breathe easier than you would in many major capitals. Porto is the kind of place where a quiet morning by the river can feel like a luxury that costs nothing, where the beauty around you creates a lifestyle upgrade even when your budget stays the same. It proves that your cost of living isn't just about numbers. It's about the type of life you get to wake up to. Ninth on this list is Granada, Spain, a city that feels like stepping into a different century while still keeping the everyday comforts we depend on. What makes Granada such a shocking entry is that it sits in Western Europe, a region most people assume is completely out of reach for anyone on a normal income. Yet it remains one of the continent's most affordable, high-quality cities. Granada's secret comes from a combination of low housing prices, unbelievably cheap food markets, and a local lifestyle built around community instead of consumption. This is a place where you can still find a filling meal at a price that feels impossible in today's world, where walking through ancient stone streets becomes a daily ritual rather than a tourist fantasy. But the real surprise is how well the city supports modern living. Strong digital infrastructure, good healthcare access, a vibrant student population, and a culture that embraces a slower, healthier rhythm. Granada is proof that you don't need to sacrifice beauty, history, or modern comfort to escape the rising costs that dominate the world's biggest cities. It sits quietly under the radar, offering Mediterranean living at a price that makes people wonder why they ever believed Europe had become unaffordable. As we move deeper into the list, the 8th spot goes to Thessaloniki, Greece, a city that feels like it shouldn't be cheap at all. It's coastal, it's beautiful, it's warm most of the year, and it carries a Mediterranean lifestyle that people spend decades dreaming about. Yet Thessaloniki disrupts expectations by offering a surprisingly affordable cost of living wrapped in sunshine, waterfront views, and deep cultural history. Housing remains dramatically cheaper than what you'd find in Italy, France, or even Portugal, and food costs are shockingly low for a city with this much charm. But what sets Thessaloniki apart is its lifestyle quality. Long evenings by the sea, endless walkable stretches, a social culture where people gather instead of isolate, and a climate that feels like it was designed to reduce life's stress levels. It's a city where your daily routine transforms without increasing your expenses, where the simple act of stepping outside feels like a reminder that life can still be enjoyed without burning through your savings. Thessaloniki is one of Europe's greatest hidden bargains. 7th is Brno, Czech Republic, a place that catches people off guard because they expect Prague to represent the entire country. But Brno is where the real value quietly lives. It's cleaner, calmer, and significantly cheaper than the capital, yet it still offers a standard of living that rivals Western Europe. Brno combines modern transport systems, safe neighborhoods, and strong university influences with prices that remain grounded and accessible. What surprises most people is how stable and predictable the city feels, the kind of place where the infrastructure works, the streets are orderly, and the cost of everyday necessities doesn't keep climbing every few months. It delivers a level of security and comfort that many expensive cities fail to maintain, and it makes you question why so many people restrict their European dreams to the big capitals. Brno shows what Europe looks like when modern life is balanced with affordability, and it proves that quality doesn't always require a premium price tag. In sixth place is Kaunas, Lithuania, a city that represents the kind of modern, surprising transformation few people ever hear about. Kaunas is clean, organized, digitally advanced, and shockingly affordable for the lifestyle it provides. This is the type of city where fast internet, efficient public transportation, and well-maintained public spaces are simply normal. Yet the monthly expenses remain lower than what many people pay for rent alone in Western cities. What makes Kaunas so compelling is its balance. It's safe, it's quiet, and it offers a level of urban comfort that feels far above its price range. It's a place where you can live without constantly comparing your bank account to your bills, where the city supports you instead of draining you. Kaunas represents the new wave of affordable European cities that combine modern tech infrastructure with old-world simplicity. Fifth is Debrecen, Hungary, a city that rarely appears on travel bucket lists. And that's exactly why it remains so affordable. Debrecen is large enough to offer everything you need, from universities to hospitals to entertainment, but small enough that costs never spiral out of control. Housing remains incredibly cheap, groceries stay affordable, and public services operate with quiet efficiency. Families benefit from the stability, young professionals enjoy the safety and opportunities, and retirees appreciate the slower pace. What shocks newcomers is the cleanliness, the order, and the ease of living, qualities that feel rare in the major European capitals. Debrecen is the type of city where your money stretches further, your days feel calmer, and your lifestyle improves by simply stepping into a place that values balance over chaos. Fourth places goes to Lodz, Poland, a city undergoing one of the most interesting transformations in Europe. What used to be an industrial hub is now turning into an affordable cultural and tech center with modern apartments, renovated districts, and a growing creative community, all while keeping living costs extraordinarily low. Lodz offers some of the cheapest rents of any major European city, yet it never feels abandoned or underdeveloped. Instead, it feels like a city waking up, growing into itself, and offering opportunities without the price tag. Lodz is the kind of place where young people can afford to start over, where families can live without fear of the next bill, and where the city's constant renewal gives you the feeling that you're part of something new. Third is Sofia, Bulgaria, the capital city with one of the lowest costs in Europe. Most people assume that any capital must be expensive, but Sofia flips the narrative. Here, you get a large city with mountain views, vibrant cafes, modern shopping centers, a huge public transport system, and an active social life. Yet the cost of living remains among the lowest in the EU. What surprises many is the lifestyle quality: safe neighborhoods, outdoor hiking access, strong cultural traditions, and a growing digital nomad community. Sofia is spacious, energetic, and accessible, proving that a low budget doesn't mean settling for less. Second is Cluj-Napoca, Romania, a city that has quietly become one of the most desirable places in Eastern Europe. It's youthful, modern, and packed with universities, startups, cafes, and green spaces. The city feels alive in a way that surprises almost everyone who visits. Rent is still modest, daily expenses stay low, and the quality of services, from healthcare to internet speed, feels genuinely impressive. Cluj shows what happens when a city invests in technology, education, and community while still keeping life affordable. At number 1 sits Skopje, North Macedonia, the cheapest high-quality city in Europe and one of the most surprising entries on this entire list. Skopje delivers a standard of living that feels far above its price range, with massive mountains surrounding the city, clean air sweeping down from the highlands, and a peacefulness that makes everyday life feel calmer and easier. Housing is extraordinarily cheap, food prices remain some of the lowest on the continent, and transportation costs barely make a dent in your monthly expenses. But what takes people by surprise is how comfortable life feels. Skopje has museums, cafes, a walkable riverfront, a thriving bazaar district, and a local culture rich with hospitality. It's not the kind of city that screams for attention. It's the kind that quietly improves your life the moment you settle in. Skopje represents the truth behind Europe's hidden affordability. You don't need a massive income, you don't need luxury surroundings, and you don't need a famous capital to live well. Sometimes the best quality of life sits in places the world simply hasn't discovered yet. And this countdown shows that Europe still holds incredible value, hidden in cities where cost and comfort finally align.